Hello everyone and welcome to Azam Sharp YouTube channel. In the last video, we covered that how we can add a reminder to an existing list. And we were able to display all the reminders, as you can see right there. But what we want to do is, when we're displaying the reminder, there's a lot of stuff that is missing, right? I mean, like, where's the checkbox? We need a checkbox. We need notes. We also need to display the dates and the time, and a lot of other stuff needs to happen for the reminders. So in this particular video, what we're going to do is going to set up the UI, and you'll see the UI is a little bit difficult to set up because there are so many different options that you can do. Let me first show you that what it should look like when it's done. All right, so that will be a good idea to see. So on the right side, you can see the completed app, and let's go ahead and check out some of these reminders. So you can see that we have a couple of lists, and you can see that it's a little bit more complicated, right? I mean, we have the title, which is Eat Cake, then we have Sugar-Free Cake, kind of like some sort of a notes about the reminder, the date and the time, and obviously the checkbox. And if you simply click on the reminder, like select the reminder, then it brings up this information, and if you tap on that, it actually takes you to some sort of a details model view. So that's a lot of stuff going on. So let's see that how we can implement that in our example. Well, going back over here, the first thing we need to do is, I don't really want to display a text reminder over here, which is reminder 2, reminder 1. Since the reminder cell will be a little bit more complicated, it will be a good idea to just create a reminder cell view. So going back to my actual code, let's go ahead and add, and we'll add a reminder like a SwiftUI view. Reminder cell view. And the reason that we are adding reminder cell view is that we know that our reminder cell view is going to get a little bit more complicated. So it's just a good idea to add these things. Reminder cell view will be dependent on the reminder. This means that you need to pass in the reminder for the reminder cell view to work. So let's go ahead and simply pass in the reminder. There we go. It's already complaining. It's already saying that, hey, in the preview, you need to pass in the reminder cell view, which is coming from the database. So we already figured out that one way to solve this problem is by creating a container view. So I'm just going to create a reminder cell view container, which is a simple view, and this will only be used for our previews. There is no other purpose for this being used. In the container view, I can probably use query, may need to import SwiftData on the top. We're going to get the reminders. Reminder, there we go. Let's go up on the top and import SwiftData also, SwiftData. So now we can use query macro. And in the body of reminder cell view container, we are going to render the reminder cell view and pass it the reminder. So which reminder should we pass? Well, you can pass any reminder you want. I'm just going to say, just pass in 0, 1, you know. And in the preview, in our main preview, we're just going to go ahead and start using the reminder cell view container, and also use our preview container over here. Now, preview container is async, and it needs to be handled on the main actor, so we're going to just use a main actor closure. All right. Okay, I guess right now we don't really have any, we're not really displaying anything related to the reminder, but if you want, you can go ahead and, display some sort of a title or whatever you need. So let's see what we can do in the reminder cell view. In the reminder cell view, we'll start with displaying the title of the reminder, just like before. Eventually, we'll be using htag, so I'll just add the htag right now, and I'll say alignment, which will be top. And I think that X stack will have a couple of different things, but I'll start with the image. Remember the image we need? We need an image over here, and then we need the name of the reminder. So we'll say reminder. That's what we're trying to build. So how do we create this circle? You can always use the image, and we have a system name over here. The system for that icon is circle. And you can see right there on the bottom, you can see the circle being displayed. You can have different fonts. Let me go ahead and copy up all of these things because, you know, these are just styling things. You can figure it out later. So there we go. It's a little bit bigger now. And it will have on tab gesture. And we will do that a little bit later. We're just trying to make sure that we can create our view part of it, meaning it looks nice. And text will be reminder.title. Again, just going to make sure that we are organizing it correctly. There we go. Okay, looks pretty good now. We got the cell, we got this stuff. We also have notes, right? Reminder can have notes as we saw earlier on, but notes can also be null. So we will have to make sure that we are unwrapping the notes and we are displaying the notes, whatever the notes are. Now, currently we may not have any notes, so you can always go back to your preview container. Here we go. And you can see that in the reminders, we're simply showing or sending the title with reminder number 1. So we don't really have any notes, but you can add notes over here. This is reminder 1 notes. All right. Let's see if this one gets displayed because I think it will be all random when you're actually pulling it out. So there's a possibility that this particular one doesn't get displayed. Let's go back. And okay, we can see the notes, and you can change the styling for the notes also. It's always a good idea to take just really small steps. You can see that we're just, taking very small steps over here. There we go. Okay, we're foreground and all that stuff. The same thing goes for the date, right? I mean, the date can be a reminder date. We can display all of those different things. So it's a good idea to unwrap those things. I'm going to go ahead and create another X stack because the dates will be, right next to each other. So I'm going to say reminder date. I'm going to get the reminder date. Now, if this point, if you're wondering that, hold on a second, should we create a new view or a subview for notes? Should we create a new subview for the image and the dates? You can, if you think that your dates are getting a little bit bigger, then you can definitely do that. Our date will be simply a text label and nothing more. So technically, you don't really have to. Let's see over here, date.formatted. Now, right now, I'm just going to say formatted, but eventually we will have to change that to something else. And currently, you can see the dates are not really displayed anywhere. That's because if you go to the preview container, we're simply returning notes, but not the dates. So let's go ahead and say reminder date. And we can just put it to today's date. And since we are here, we can also say reminder time and just put the today's time. Should we use the reminder date and the reminder time as just reminder date to carry both of this? I guess you can try to do that. I just want to keep things separate because sometimes you will select the date but not the time. All right, let's go back. Let's see what date does it display over here, or does it even display anything? Okay, so now it's displaying reminder 2, and that's the problem, right? I mean, whenever it says reminder 2, then it's not going to be displaying those things. So we know it's there. It's just a little bit weird because it fetches the items in a different way. It's not really sorting the items. I guess we can try to sort them. So I'll say reminder time. There we go. So you can see now it's displaying. But yeah, so you should definitely work on sorting it somehow so that you are displaying the first one, because the first one is the one that only has the stuff. So one thing you can do, since you have added in the preview container the reminder, and only the first one contains the reminder title, notes, reminder date, and reminder time, and the rest of them, well, only other one is reminder 2, this only contains the title and the notes, so it does not contain the reminder date and reminder time. So if you do want to show the first one, the reminder one, you can always try to sort these things. So if I go over here in my preview, I can say sort and sort by reminder.title. So let's see. Hopefully it will sort, and there we go. It displays the first one. Well, after it's sorted, it displays the first one. Okay, so now we can definitely see reminder 1. And it will be a good idea to sort these dates. You know, they look kind of weird. They're very big. So let me go ahead and try to attach some sort of a styling on the H stack. There we go. Let's see if it, there we go. So now it looks actually much nicer, a little bit smaller. All right, so we got reminder 1, we got the notes, we got the reminder date and the reminder time. And yes, the time will be a little bit different. It will not be displayed like that, but we can fix it a little bit later on. I think for reminder time, we should be able to just say that we want like formatted in a different way. Let's see if I can figure this out. Formatted. Yeah, we'll get back to that. I think we can just say month and year and all that stuff. Or month and day and all that. So not month and day, sorry. Hour and seconds. Hour and minutes. Maybe even seconds if you want. But hour and minutes should be okay. So we will figure that out. Don't worry too much about that. We'll figure this out. Okay, so this looks pretty good, right? Now the next thing that we want to do is there are a couple of different things happen when you select a reminder. If I simply tap, like if I tap over here on an empty space, then an icon should appear, like the information icon. And if I click on the information icon, then I can see the details of this reminder, so I can edit it. So that's one of the things that happen. The other thing that happens is when you click on, or when you select the check mark, it gets selected, and after a delay, the reminder will be deleted from the list. So, and you can uncheck it during that 2-second delay, or whatever seconds that you put on. So we have to make sure that we are covering those aspects. Like, how do I do multiple things when I am selecting the reminder? All right. So we'll cover that, but let's go ahead. Oh, what's going on over here? Did I mess up something? Look at that. That's not good. Reminder. Look at that. We misspelled reminder time. I'm going to say reminder time. Good thing we caught it right here. This means that we have to go to over here, and let's go ahead, try to do refactor. Reminder time. Let's go ahead and build it. Hopefully that will fix our problem. Okay, good. And we can go back to our ReminderCellView. Okay. So the next step is to attach those kind of events that are being generated from the ReminderCellView. And there are multiple ways to attach those events. You can create a closure for on checkbox cell selected, on cell selected, and things like that. But I will show you that how you can even group these view events together using a nice enum. But before we do that, let's go ahead and thank the sponsors for this video. This video is sponsored by AzamSharp.School. This is the largest catalog for iOS development videos. If you simply go to AzamSharp.School, click on the courses, you can see all of the courses that are available. I even launched my brand new course on Swift UI architecture. This is a great course if you want to learn about the Apple's recommended way for building Swift UI applications. You can check out the course overview video and also the syllabus. It covers a lot of stuff like migration from MVVM to MV, understanding aggregates, models, stores, validation, navigation, and a huge section on testing also. So definitely check out these courses. And I also host workshops. The next workshop that is, and this is a live workshop by the way, so the next workshop coming up will be on June 22nd on Swift data fundamentals. We also have the Vapor workshop coming up, and then introduction to testing. So these are live workshops. They're around like 3 hours long, very hands-on, and everyone who has taken these workshops, they really enjoy it. So check out how you can buy these courses. Well, you can buy these courses individually, like you can see the pricing over here, or you can go ahead and become a member. And when you become a member, you either pay monthly or annual. Annual is the most popular. And you get access to all the 23 courses, 140 plus hours of video, and 50% off on workshops, as well as monthly Q&A. So on the Zoom meeting, we can jump on for a monthly Q&A, 1 hour every month, and you can ask me any question that you want. So this is a great deal. Hope you enjoyed. Check out azamsharp.school. All right, so what we are going to do is, instead of creating 3 different closures, because remember, you can check mark this, so on check selected, then when you simply tap on this row, just by tapping on it, it will show you this icon, like this one, which is information, and then you can even click on that information icon. So there are multiple things that you can do, right, when you are interacting with the ReminderCellView. So instead of creating 3 or 4 different closures, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a single enum, and I'll call it ReminderCellEvents. And we will have cases over here, which is on checked, reminder, Boolean. This means that that particular reminder has been checked or not checked. On select, this means that that particular reminder cell has been selected. And then on info selected means that you clicked on that small info icon that appears after the select. And inside over here, inside our ReminderCellView, we can go ahead and create on event, which is ReminderCellView events void. So instead of creating 3 or 4 closure, we ended up creating 1 single closure, and that closure itself is an enum. Now, if you scroll down at the bottom, again, it is complaining because, hey, we didn't specify the on event. Now, we don't really want to do anything over here, so I'm just going to say on event and kind of like ignore all of this stuff. So I'm just going to pass in like this. So I'm just ignoring it. All right, there we go. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And now let's go ahead and see that how we can capture these kind of events. The first thing we need to do is on tap gesture. So this one, on the image itself. Well, in this case, we'll say on event, on checked. And what are we passing? Well, we're passing the reminder itself. We already have the reminder. And whether it is checked or not. Whether it is checked or not. Well, we don't really have any property that tells us whether it is checked or not. So there are multiple ways. Again, I'm just going to create a separate property for that. And I'm going to call this checked. So let's go ahead and create a state variable, which I did on line number 21. And on checked over here, I can just make sure that checked is toggle. All right. Now you might be wondering, hold on a second, Azam, why did you even use the checked? Reminder already has a checked, the selected property, right? Why can't we just do this? Why can't we just go over here and say reminder completed dot toggle? Well, one of the reasons that if you do that, what's going to happen is reminder is basically already hooked up to the database. So whenever you check it, it's going to make a call to the database and update the database. Now, if you want to do that, that's fine, but sometimes people will have choice that they can uncheck that within 2 seconds. So you will be accessing a database a lot if you try to do that approach. All right. Now, in this small app, it's really not going to matter that much, but when you're working with larger apps, it might cause some issues. Okay, so that's the first one. What's the next one that we want to do? Well, we want to select the whole cell. Like if this is a cell and I click over here, anywhere, then I should see the I, meaning the information. All right, so how can we do that? Well, let's go probably on the top, try to figure out where it ends, right there. And we will select the content shape to be rectangle. So this means we can tap on the whole row now. And on tab gesture, we are going to say on event, on select reminder. So this means that this particular reminder is selected. All right, so that's why we're passing the reminder over here, so that the caller will know that this is the reminder that gets selected, because remember, this is a reminder cell view and there will be many reminder cell views, several reminder cell views that will be displayed. And the other one that we want to do is, let's see over here, what we want to do is the one that displays the information, right? So we'll get out of this particular thing. Let's see, this one, yeah, so we'll right over here. I'll create an image. Let's see where the image actually appears, system name, and we're trying to just display the info circle. So info circle.fill, and you can see the info circle is displaying. That's pretty good. Okay, and let's see if I can give a spacer. I don't know if I need a spacer over here or not. Spacer is fine. And we can also give it a little bit like an opacity based on whether it is selected or not. So I'm going to say if it's selected, then it's going to be 1 or else 0. Now, what is selected? As you can guess, selected will be simply not a state variable, but something that you will pass in. And we'll get back to that a little bit later. All right. Now, again, we're going to have some problems over here. Let me go up on the top and probably move this somewhere else, right? Move this probably over here. Let's go on the top again. It's selected, and we can say true, false, whatever you want to say. I'm just going to pass in false so that the opacity will be 0. So we shouldn't be able to see this info box or info circle, and there you can see it's hiding now. On tap gesture, on event, and this one will be on info selected, and we're going to be passing in the reminder. So this is when a person actually taps on the info selected image that right now it's not displaying, but it will be displaying like this when you actually select a row. All right. And then it's going to fire this event. So all of these events that are firing, the on info selected, on select over here, and then the checkbox, which is this one, all of these will be handled on the parent side, and then the parent can decide what to do. So it makes this a little bit more reusable, because we're not saying over here that, oh yeah, go ahead and update the database, because sometimes you may need to update the database, but sometimes you don't. So we're giving this flexibility to the parent that they can decide what to do. Okay, so this looks good. Let's go back to and we will come back and make some other changes eventually, but let's go back to our My List screen now. Not My List screen, sorry, the list details screen. That's the one that's displaying the reminders, right? And in the reminder details screen, you can see right now we're simply displaying a text view. Let's try to use our brand new ReminderCellView. ReminderCellView. Okay, here we go. Well, we need to pass in the reminder, but that's good because we already have that. If it is selected or not, well, we currently don't know if it's selected, so I'm just going to say false, but we will come back to that later. And the event. So that's kind of cool because now we can capture a single event. I'll capture the event, and now I'll have nice cases over here. On checked, we'll get the reminder, and I will also get whether it's checked or not. So I'll say checked. We're not really going to do anything over here. I'm just going to say on checked, and then on select, we're just going to go ahead and say reminder, and we can just say reminder or on select. You know, we're not implementing it right now. This will be a part of our future video. And on info selected, again, on info selected, we're going to get the reminder. And we can say on info selected. Okay, that's pretty good, right? Let's go ahead and open this up. Maybe we'll be able to see that whenever we checked or not. Oh yeah, there we go. You can see. I mean, it's not really checking right now. You can see that it's not, but don't worry. That's something that we will be covering it later. Right now, it's not checking, even though we are marking it selected, right? It's not really checking anything. So that's pretty cool. If I select over here, it doesn't really do. So it doesn't really do much right now, but at least it displays the notes, it displays the date and the time, and we got our reminder cell view as a separate view that we can work on, and it makes it reusable. So in the next lecture, we'll be continuing to work on the list details screen because right now it's not really functional. It looks nice a little bit, but it's definitely not functional. So we need to still figure out how to make it look functional so that it persists information, deletes information, edits information, all of that cool stuff. We'll be covering it in the future tutorial. Thank you so much. And hey, check out AzamSharp.school. It's a great website. We have some great courses, brand new courses, SwiftUI architecture. Go ahead and try it out. Thank you so much.